Right. Hey guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. It is December 5th, 2023. Just about like a 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in today's content now, we'll talk about BTC on the macro, and we'll talk about alt, and we'll take a look at the total 3, the total 2, the BTC dominance, and the USDT dominance, right? And we'll basically analyze these charts and basically trying to figure out what type of a price action we could be expecting in 2024 or even 2025, basically over the next 18 to 24 month, right? So if you've been bullish over the last at least over the last few weeks, congrats, right? At least you did not try to short BTC and all that good stuff, trying to basically look for 10k 12k and all that good stuff. The probability of retesting those lows is very low as of now. I don't see anything in the chart based on the 4-year cycle, a retest of those lows. So the only thing I'm going to be focusing on going forward, right, just like what we've been doing over the last 12 months, is like on the macro basis, stay vigilant, right, but at the same time stay very, very bullish, right? Because the 4-year cycle, as we discussed previously, it is still playing out exactly as expected. So we did not invent anything, we did not add anything to it, we did not subtract anything out of it, right? So we stayed bullish since like November 2022, right? And we did stay bearish since like December 2021, right? So now when we take a look at the chart right here, we broke out above the 50%, the 0.618 pullback Leroy based on the log scale, and price action is refusing basically to pull back down. Okay, it is a bull market. We tend to see this type of a mania, this type of a moves, 25%, 40%, 50% monthly breakout. You tend to get these moves in a bull market, right? A good example is like, let's take a look at it right here. A good example is like the breakout we had right here back in December 2020. That candle was like 40% breakout. The following candle was like a 47% breakout, right? Which was what, the November 2020, okay? 42%, December 47%, January breakout was like 50%. So we tend to see this type of mania during the early stage of the bull market, right? You could have basically said it is like the late stage of the bull market, and the early stage was right there. But right in this range right here, we're still early in the bull market because we're still in 2023, right? The big moves, right, the bigger moves, right, could come in 2024, especially after the halving. And once again, I'm not saying BTC will not cool off or BTC will not drop 10%, 15% and all that good stuff. All I'm saying is on the macro basis, over the next like 18 months, regardless of what type of pullbacks we're going to get along the way, the trend likely to be up for the next 18 to 24 months, right? I don't expect a parabolic move like that, okay? I don't expect us to go up to like a 180k in a straight line. As I said, we could get a dirty bull market. It could be very, very, very choppy. It could be very choppy all the way up to 180k. So we will get some sort of pullbacks along the way. Okay, so now let's take a look at it now on the quarterly basis, right? So on the quarterly time frame, nothing has changed. Okay, it takes 16 quarters, right, 4 years to break, to basically reach a new all-time high. So if we're going to follow that, if we're going to follow that methodology, we could say like, hey, our next all-time high is going to be sometime in Q4 2025, right? It could be, the final all-time high. It could be a double top. It could be a lower high, but we will discuss all of that. My opinion as of now, it will be a lower high, and we will discuss it in another video and all that good stuff, right? But if you've been following me long enough, we already talked about it, like why we will get a lower high in late 2025. So the first the real high could be sometime in the first half of 2025, right? And the second half of 2025, you could basically make a lower high and basically dump lower. Leroy, not dropping down to these lows, but just do something like that and retest the quarterly 2-on-1 EMA and all that good stuff along the way, depending on where it is going to be at. You take a look at the quarterly cycle at the same time, you can see exactly how the MACD is flipping positive, which is going to be a good news. And I wouldn't be sitting right here drawing a bearish divergence once we basically retest like a 60K, because those people who do not follow the quarterly cycle could basically just take a look at the MACD right after it flips positive right there, right? They're going to say, okay, it's going to do something like that, and BTC will basically get the double top, and then it's going to dump something like that. They're going to try to draw some flat correction and all that good stuff, right? But based on the 4-year cycle, I wouldn't be basically drawing anything, okay, anything like that, okay, anything pointing to the downside. I wouldn't be drawing it, even though based on the Elliott wave patterns, right, it is a feasible pattern, but you just have to be very, very cautious because BTC is a beast, okay? So you just don't want to mess with it if you don't know what you're doing, okay? So it is just an insight, right? So be cautious. Once we hit like a 65-70K area, all the Wyckoff boys will be coming out, and all the crypto crackheads will be coming out and will be saying like nothing has changed, we're going to drop down to 10K, okay? So be cautious. That's the first time I'm talking about this possibility, but if you've seen it somewhere, just know exactly what to look for, right? So now we talk about the quarterly cycle, we talk about the monthly. Let's talk about the lower degree for the moon boys before we move on to alt, okay? All right, before we talk about the lower degree, let's take a look at the chat room. We got Mr. Shu, Mr. ICX, Litecoin, thanks a lot for tuning in. James, Water Cooler, thanks a lot for tuning in. Quiet Cook, cooking some BR higher if you're a moon boy, okay? Let's see, is the stream good? Okay, let's see. Okay, it's back. Okay, great. So I don't know, it might be some it might be YouTube and all that good stuff, man. So YouTube is funny. So so basically, hopefully you guys didn't miss a lot about what I was saying, but I don't want to repeat myself, right? Based on what I just said, I didn't know the stream stopped, but and if it did, it probably only stopped for like 30 seconds, so you can always rewind it and all that good stuff, okay? So so basically the most important thing I was just saying is like the monthly cycle, right? Bulls just don't want to basically lose the current monthly open, right? We opened this cycle at 37.7, so we don't want to close below it, okay? Could we retest it next month? It won't be a big deal, but we don't want to open a cycle and close below it within the same cycle. You see what I'm saying? Especially after a 20% breakout. All right, that's not going to be a good news in the short to medium term, because it means like we could be going sideways for multi-weeks or even multi-month, okay, waiting for the halving and all that good stuff, right? So now let's take a look at it in terms of Fibonacci, okay? In terms of Fibonacci, we just hit the 0.618. Our next level of our next level on the Fibonacci, it is the 0.786, and it is right there around the 48 to 50k area, okay? And that is the log scale, all right? So we just broke out above 0.618. So you guys heard me talking about like 0.618 after we took out the, after we took out the 32k area. I was telling you guys, don't be bearish. 32k was a massive resistance, right? And a massive support at the same time. If you basically traded BTC back in 2021, back in May, June, July 2021, we were long in buying BTC right here all the way, down to the year 29.5 and all that good stuff. We never shorted it right here. The only time we shorted BTC at 32k was like before the lunar crash, right? Back in May, right? And everything, came out perfectly, and we dumped all the way down to a 21k and all that good stuff, right? So right here, we broke out above it. You understood what happened right here. You'd be like, okay, no need to be shorting it. Price is bullish. Let's just go up to potentially the 0.618, okay? But I think like it is overperforming right now, and we could be hitting potentially 0.786, which is around like a 50k. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it this month or not. Either way, the macro is still bullish. If we close above 43.5, 45.5, it is still good, but closing above 45.5, 46.5 will be much better. Right? Yes, I think I'm streaming at 4K. Probably that's why it is lagging. But we'll see. Okay. Hopefully it's not gonna do it again. I'm streaming at 4K so Leroy can see the candles. Otherwise he's gonna go and short the market, short these big green candles. Like Dr. Pump and Dump, or Dr. Dump and Pump, whatever his name is. So let's go back to the lower degree. So on the lower degree, I'm liking the 3D basis. Yes, it is overbought. Okay, the 3D basis RSI is extremely high. I wouldn't say extremely high, just about like 80, 84. But the thing with a bear market, the thing with a bearish divergence in a bull market is like, it can be wiped out. Right, the bearish divergence itself, right, can be wiped out. Right, what does it mean? Okay, it means like you could still get some some divergences right here, and you don't know how long it'll take, and price action is just going to be trending up, right? So you just have to be very cautious, right? Shorting in a bull market, okay? It is easier to short in a bear market, right? It is easier to short in a bear market, right? However, you don't want to short in a bull market. You don't want to short in a bull market, right? Unless you're scalping and trading the 15-second charts and all that good stuff, it is a different story. But if you're trading like, the higher time frame, weekly and higher, just stay with the trend, right? You will get plenty of time to basically short the market once the bear market resume, okay, in 2 years or 3 years, stuff like that, okay, in 2026, right? But as of now, just buy the dip. On a 3D basis, if we get any sort of pullbacks, right, we still got our 3D 21 EMA, right? As of now, it is at 36k, but it is a moving average, so we don't know where it is going to be at, right, in the next like a week or so, or even like a 2 weeks. So just keep an eye on it. That's going to be the first line of defense, because we overextended right here. If we get a week to the downside, it is likely to bounce back up very hard, okay? So I don't know. I'm not saying that we will get it on our current 3D candle. It could be at any given time, right? It could be next week, you know, it could be in January, February, I don't know. Okay, on a weekly basis, weekly is looking super bullish. I can't remember last time we got like 2, 4, 6, 8 straight bullish weekly candles on BTC. I can't remember really. Right, this one right here we got 2, 4, 6, 7 weeks, right there. I remember exactly, you know, I was trading BTC right here, and I was saying BTC is extremely bullish back in 2019. You can go back and watch my videos, like early videos, right, back in 2019, and most people were calling for like $1,000 BTC right here, and I was like, guys, we're gonna moon. Okay, the same pattern we got right here on BTC, that's the same pattern we are getting on total 3. So you just have to be very cautious, because once total 3 takes off, right, most of the bear is gonna miss the boat. Okay, so looking pretty good right here. We got 2, 4, 6, 7, right, 7 weeks. Okay, I can't remember last time we got 8 straight weeks. Maybe right here back in 2017, April 2017. Yeah, April 2017. All right, that was the last time we got 8 straight bullish weekly candles right there, and then we came right back down to retest the weekly 21 EMA. So it is something that we will just keep an eye on, just in case. And we got another one right here that was back in 2015 at the bottom right there. So we got 8 right there also. Okay, so we don't tend to get these 8 straight bullish weekly candles, right, that often, right? So we'll see if, you know, the weekly 21 EMA will provide some big support right after the 3-day 21 EMA to reload, right? Abandoned Moon Boy, thanks a lot for tuning in. Right, so that's it. That's the only thing we need to remember on a weekly basis, right? But let me show you what the bear is going to be saying over the next like a few weeks. Okay, so the bear is going to be saying like, hey, this move right here going to be our wave 1. This entire pump, right, they're going to be like, okay, that is going to be our wave 1, just like what happened back in 2019. Okay, so, and I won't basically go with that thesis. Okay, just because we're pumping like, you know, we're pumping like 200%, 300% and all that good stuff, just like what happened back in 2019, doesn't mean like we will repeat this move. Okay, timing wise, it's not feasible, because the halving is in like, let's say 3 to 4 months, in April 2024. And right after the halving, what are we expecting? We're expecting some fireworks. So the fireworks, they haven't even started really, okay, for some of these alt. So we're still under accumulation phase for most of these alt, because some of these alt are still 90% down, okay, from their all-time high. So something to basically keep an eye on. Okay, so I think this is going to be, you know, this was our wave 1, right? This is our wave 2, and I think we're going for our wave 3. Okay, that's my thesis, right? All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at we got 25 minutes of BTC. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the let's take a look at the BTC dominance, right? So the BTC dominance, I know most bears, they're still saying like, okay, the BTC dominance is going up, alt gonna dump hard and all that good stuff. Let's see, but they just have to be very cautious, Because what happened back in 2018, 2019, all the way up to 2021, I mean, you cannot compare it to what's going on right now. You might be confused, right? But an easy way to explain it is like, if you take a look at what happened back in 2018, right? Right there, after BTC bottomed, the BTC dominance bottomed around like 35%, right? We pumped 50%. And you're gonna be like, why are you talking about like 50% pump after that, right? Because it matters, right? You take a look at it right here, right? This 50% pump, right? It coincided, right? It coincided, right, with BTC, right, putting its wave 2 basically. I would say like wave 1, starting its wave 1. Okay, so but you take a look at it right here, because BTC right there was around like a 20k, right? Let's say 17, 20k, give or take, right? But right here in April 2019, BTC was around like a 4k, breaking out, right, for the start of the wave 1 after pumping 50% on the dominance. But take a look at it right here. BTC right there was still at the bottom. BTC was still at the bottom. Okay, you see what I'm saying? It did not start the wave 1 pump yet. So we cannot compare exactly, right, month by month, right, what happened back in 2019, 2018 and all that good stuff with what's going on right now. Okay, so we just have to be very, very cautious how we want to basically compare these two patterns. Hopefully it makes sense, right? Hopefully it makes sense. So the BTC dominance, it is still it could still be trending up. So yes, some of these alt, they're not going to pump, right? Especially the top coins, because as long as those top coins don't move, right, and BTC is moving, the BTC dominance is going to keep pumping. I'm not talking about like the 10 million market cap, under 100 million market cap, especially. Those can pump a lot, okay? They just crazy. You know, they can go from 5 million to like a 250 million in 1 week. But it won't affect the BTC dominance, right? A 250 million market cap coins, right, doesn't basically affect at all the BTC dominance if it moves by itself. You see what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. But if Ethereum pumps 10%, it will affect the BTC dominance, because Ethereum is like, you know, over 200 billion market cap. So 10% of Ether, you know, is 20 billion, right? But if a 10 million market cap pumps 10%, it's only, you know, 1 million. It's not going to affect this guy, right? So we could still expect the BTC dominance to be trending up to 60%. Or even higher. It could go higher, right? It could go higher. So just be cautious, right? Nevertheless, okay, it doesn't mean alt won't pump. I keep saying it. Just because the BTC dominance is going up, it doesn't mean like bulls shouldn't be accumulating alt. We want the BTC dominance to go at this point. Why? Because the higher it goes, the more likely we are in a bull market. Okay, so we want the BTC dominance to go. That's why I kept saying throughout 2023, be 75% into BTC and 25% into alt. And going into the last quarter of 2023, start DCAing into alt and drop, you know, your BTC holding down to like a 50% and hold 50% BTC, 50% alt before the halving. Okay, so we want the BTC dominance to keep going. So the BTC dominance pumping is not a bad thing at this point. I mean, it's not even a bad thing to see the BTC dominance pumping from like 40% to 50%. Yes, alt won't pump, but we need BTC to clear the way, right? That way alt can pump. So if you sit right there and saying like, oh, I don't want the BTC dominance to pump because I want my alt to pump, you might not understand what's going on. Okay, we want the BTC dominance to pump. So you should be celebrating for the BTC dominance to go even as, you know, as high as like, let's say 70%. Okay, so it means like market is receiving liquidity and it's going into BTC, and after that that liquidity will flow out of BTC into alt. So if you understand it that way, you're not going to be panicking, or you're not going to be, crying and all that good stuff, right? Regarding like the BTC dominance pumping and your alt not pumping. All right. So you just have to be patient. We got 18 months. Okay, we got 18 months. We already got 24 months of a bear market. So which is longer than 18 months, Leroy. So the hardest part to me is done. Now it is just about like, strategizing, redistributing, okay, buying and selling, okay, sell those resistances and accumulate more some other alt, okay, you haven't bought before, or basically alt that haven't basically pumped yet, right? Or the easiest thing to do, you got your favorite alt, you just suck it up, close the computer, come back in 2025. All right, so not financial advice, right? Just do whatever you want, buy, sell, hold, whatever you want to do, right? But I'm just telling you, based on the 4-year cycle, based on what I learned, based on what I understand, right, how this market works and all that good stuff, sometimes you have to apply patience, okay? You got to be really, really patient. Yeah, we got David. Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. Yeah, I mean, alt will pump. You just have to be patient, okay? So now let's take a look at total 3 before we talk about total 2. So total 3, most of you guys are pretty much interested in total 3, right? The total 3, guys, I said it, you could be, you could be bearish if you want to, right? But if this guy breaks out above like a 480, I mean, imagine, okay, the total 3 going up to like 800 billion. Do you know what 800 billion is, right? 800 billion was basically our previous, not the 2021, but our 2017 bull market peak. 800 billion, okay? And now we're just sitting around like a low 400 billion. Okay, so I don't see anything bearish as of now. You could look at it as a W, a head and shoulder for head, inverse head and shoulder and all that good stuff. But the main thing you got to focus on is like we back above the monthly 21 EMA. We back above the monthly 21 EMA, right? Last time we got above the monthly 21 EMA, July 2020. Yes, it was after the halving. We blasted off. Nearly 1700%, over 1700%, okay, 1658 Leroy, right? So you could also say, hey, back in 2019 we retested the monthly 21 EMA and dumped down to these lows, right? But remember, I just explained to you, right, back then the BTC dominance was not behaving the same way it is behaving, so we cannot expect this move, right, to be repeated right here. Back then we did not get a triple bottom. Right here you can see like we got one, which was the June lows, right, 2022, the December lows 2022, and another June, retest right here, June 2023. So we had like a 12-month accumulation between June 2022 till basically June 2023, right? So based on what I'm saying right now, we could get a continuation. The only way, okay, we could basically get a rejection is like if we close this current monthly cycle below the monthly 21 EMA. Yes, I could say like, hey, we could retest the lows right here, 300 billion, which is still going to be in range. Okay, so the entire move right here, right, is nothing but an accumulation range. So you just have to understand it on the macro scale, not on the weekly, not on the 3D, not on the daily, but you have to understand it on a 6 to 18 month outlook, because we staying in this range for like what? We are still in this range for the last 18 months since like June 2022, right? Now it is December 2023. That's why I keep saying some of these alt they still around the 18-month lows. Some of them already breaking out above the 18-month lows and all that good stuff, right? So hey, what's up, Genko Gold? Thanks a lot for tuning in. So the total three, it looks good, guys. I mean, that's the only thing I can say, right? I could be wrong, right? But as I said it in my premium right here, we could drop lower, but you don't want to be speculating about a bearishness in Q4 2023, because we were ready for Q4 2023. I said it a long time ago. I said alt will bottom 24 months after the bull market peak. When was the bull market peak? Right here, November 2021, right? 24 months later, right there, we bottomed. Okay, even before 24 months, right there, we actually 19 months we bottomed. But you get the concept, because I was expecting some sideways correction and all that good stuff, right? And back in August, if you guys recall, I was saying start buying alt. Be ready for the halving. You don't want to wait till the last 2 months before the halving to be buying, because these suckers could be like 10x below, 10x above their bottom, right? 10x above their bottom. So I mean the low cap, okay, not the high cap, right? All right, now in terms of Fibonacci, right, I wouldn't waste my time, right, with with the fibs counts with total 3. I would just be patient and wait for the retest of or even a breakout above all-time highs if you're looking for the 18-month outlook. Okay, so it looks pretty good. If you want to be complicated, right, you could look for a 1-to-1 extension. If you want to have fun, okay, you could do this and look for a 600 billion retest right there. Okay, which is 1-to-1 extension of the accumulation range. Okay, this is a Wyckoff distribution, right? But what the bear has been saying for BTC was not Wyckoff. I don't know what it was, but that sucker pump hard. So, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so now let's take a look at total 3, total 2 actually. So total 2 is looking super jullish, right? And as I said, let me include the 20 SMA on a monthly basis. Okay, so they just crossed. Okay, it is a sign of what? Bullishness. Okay, right there, when your 20 SMA crosses above, actually crosses below your 21 EMA, you get your bull market. Okay, I was saying it a long time ago in my premium. I was making sure we were going to be ready for these type of moves, right, before the bull market really kicks in, right? So we got the crossover, just like what happened right here, back in basically January 2020, basically the halving year, right? Now we just got one right there, October 2023, right? So we are looking pretty good. So we'll see if okay, the total 2 will get another close above the monthly, right? But the most important was like to take out the 630 billion. Okay, so now we around like a 700 billion. Next resistance all the way up to like 950 billion right there. Okay, right here. And at the same time, I think it is a 1-to-1 extension, right? Yeah, it is nearly a 90% extension of the accumulation range, right? Actually 110%, right? So yep, just about like 110%. because this is 50%, right? This is 53%. All right, so total 2 is looking pretty good, above the monthly 21. Nothing to basically nothing to do as of now. Now let's take a look at total market cap before we take a look at the USDT dominance. So total market cap at the same time looking pretty good, following BTC actually. Okay, so it is just breaking out above the 1.5 trillion, and I said it, man, if we take out 1.3 trillion, we're gonna see some fireworks. Okay, broke out above the monthly 21 EMA. Now the next resistance is going to be somewhere around like a 1.9 trillion to a 2.1 trillion. Right, so we'll see if the BTC dominance will continue to rise, right, while we're going up to 2 trillion. And 2 trillion is doable within the next like a 2 to 3 months. It is nothing but a 30%. Let's see, is it 30%? Right there. 1.9, just about like a 21% pump, and 2.1 trillion, about like a 40% pump on the total market cap. Okay, so basically pump us all the way up to 2 trillion. Possibly BTC will hit like a 50k if we're going to go up above 2 trillion, unless the BTC dominance drops a lot. Okay, so looking good on in terms of total market cap. And at the same time, I was saying it in my premium recently, just have to be very, very very cautious how you read these these totals, right? Total 1, total 2, total 3, and all that good stuff. You can see total market cap retested what exactly the previous bull market peak of the year 2017, 700 billion. Right, so when I saw many people saying like, or many bears were saying like BTC will drop down to 10k, 3k, 5k, and all that good stuff, they're just not paying attention to what happened collectively in crypto. Okay, so we came right back down to tag the previous bull market peak. Never broke below it never broke below it with a monthly candle. Right, so looks pretty good. Okay, in our next bull market we could get something similar, right? But in our next bull market, I think we could even drop below it. Okay, if we go up to like, let's say 6 trillion, 7 trillion, and don't break it, right, I think we will breach below 3 trillion right here. We could even dump all the way down to like 1.8, let's say 1.8 to a 2 trillion area. Right, so don't see what's going on right now and you're gonna be like, okay, in the next bull market, right, we're not gonna dump below 3 trillion. It's not gonna work the same way. Okay, it's not gonna work the same way. I don't think it will. Okay, so unless we pump all the way up to like 11 trillion, stuff like that, 10 trillion, yes, I can see us not breaking below 3 trillion. However, if we do not break above 7 trillion, right, the likelihood of dropping down to like, let's say 1.8 to 2 trillion going to be pretty high. So it all depends on how high we will go in this bull market. All right, so you can go ahead and show this show this chart to a crypto savvy. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the USDT dominance. So the USDT dominance, guys, I showed you guys the chart back in January 2021, right? We were talking about what, the 5.8%, right? Take a look at it, guys. It just hit 5.8%. It took like almost a year to hit the 5.8% because it moves very slowly. Okay, so it's not like a regular crypto pump and dump coin, right? So however, even though we are support and market is bullish, the BTC dominance is trending up, right? So it could definitely break the 5.8, but we just have to be very cautious just in case it doesn't break it right away and try to basically move sideways and retest the monthly 21 EMA right here. Right, so however, if we continue our downtrend, the next support area going to be somewhere around like a 4.8 down to 4.5, and you can see these resistance levels right there, right here, and right there. We did have a nice W, and you could call it double top, double bottom also, or a W, and a breakout to the upside. Okay, so that's going to be a crazy level to keep an eye on. And at the same time, we already printed our monthly divergence, just like how BTC USDT picked back in 2021 on the monthly basis. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at it really quickly. So you take a look at BTC USDT, spotted on the monthly basis, so it was looking good on the 3 weeks basis. So similarly, okay, that's what we're doing with the USDT dominance. So on the monthly basis, if you're bullish, right, on the USDT dominance and bearish on BTC, you could make a plausible argument saying like, hey, it could be bouncing back up from this level and push back up, just like what happened right here. But personally, I wouldn't fall for it. I will just stay with the current trend until we get a valid reversal, right? I wouldn't basically be looking for this move, even though it is a plausible call. You could call it if you're comfortable. You could say, okay, the BTC dominance, the USDT dominance will be pulling back up, and then crypto could be going for another bear market and all that good stuff. But I'm not going to make that call. Okay, I'm just gonna stay with the trend, even though it is a support, right? But what I see in terms of like the USDT, in terms of like the BTC dominance, in terms of the total 2, total 3, even the total market cap, I think like the USDT dominance could be trending lower over the next like a few months. Okay, over the next few months, right? So even if we bounce back up, we still got a big trend line resistance right here, started since like June 2022. Okay, and what happened back in June 2022? Remember, that's when crypto, right, first found, right, its first bottom after the lunar crash. So the entire move right here, right, is nothing but a sideways correction, right? The last 18 months for alt, it was a sideways correction. So if we bullish on alt and saying like over the last 18 months, alt have been, moving sideways, they've been under accumulation and all that good stuff, you would be expecting the USDT dominance to be trending down afterward if alt are going to be pushing to the upside. That's just my personal opinion, right? You could read it however you want, right? You could say we bullish and this guy we bearish and this guy going to be bullish and all that good stuff. But as of now, I think we got a very high probability to break below the 5.8 over the next like a few weeks. All right, so guys, we already covered everything: BTC, total market cap, total 2, total 3, the BTC dominance, and the USDT dominance. So we'll go ahead and take a look at alt. So let me know which alt you want to talk about, right? And we'll go from that, right? All right. All right, guys, if you guys don't have any question regarding any alt, okay, Ordi, yes, I've seen Ordinal. I mean, already is, you know, is way overextended. Okay, it looks really good bullishly, but it is not something like you want to chase right now. You know, I wouldn't touch it, right? Honestly, right? Just be patient. Even though it has printed a fat wave structure right here and could even push higher up to even $100 over the next like a few weeks, but I wouldn't take that risk. It is way overextended, right? So it is moving too fast, and that's what most of these crypto will do over the next like a few weeks. So if you just chase something that has already pumped in like 2 months, pumped a lot, right? It could be cooling off, and then the rest of the other alt you've been waiting for the last few weeks or month, you know, could basically just take off. So it looks pretty good. I don't have anything to say. It is vertical, way above the weekly 21. At least wait for the 3D 21 retest. It actually retested it right here. But wait for this guy to come back down right here. Okay, so the RSI on the 3D. Wait for the RSI to do something like that, and we could even push back a little higher. Okay, or it could basically push lower and do something like that, and price action could be doing something like that, and you're going to get a very elongated, bearish divergence. Okay. So it dropped 88%. So it's only like 100% above all-time high. So it's not like it has pumped a lot, okay, from the issue price right here. So it is still pretty cheap, you know, on the macro basis, right? But in the short to medium term, just have to be cautious. Let's see. BTC 1D, BTC daily. Let's take a look at it. Man, I haven't taken a look at the lower time frame forever. So on the daily, I mean, I really, okay, we discussed it, okay? Last time we went for the live stream, I told you, okay, the bearishness is there, but we're in a bull market, so you don't want to fall for it. What did you have right here? Bearishness. Okay, what happened? We just dumped to the weekly 21, never broke below it. Okay, so you basically getting another, you're most likely going to do something like that, but I wouldn't, because that bearishness right here got faded away. So you have to wait for another bearish divergence along the way right here, at least to trust something like that. It's not a divergence, Leroy. Let's do it properly. Something like that, right? Right? You have to wait another divergence somewhere around here. So don't use the same arrow and doing something like that. You're going to get properly wrecked. Okay? Because this divergence right here faded away already. Right here came back down to the mid-range. I said it in my premium and in the public group. Last time we were going live, I said, okay, we came back down to the mid-range. This divergence faded away. We could be getting this move to the upside, so stay bullish. Okay? Because bull market loves bearish divergences, right? To wreck all the bears. So on the daily, looks pretty good. You know, just use your daily 21 if we ever retest it. On a 12-hour basis, I don't see anything crazy. No bearish divergence. MACD, it is still positive, right? So we could get a negative crossover potentially during the weekend, right? If price action moves, if price action moves pretty slow. But we just got a fresh bullish crossover right here. Okay, so you know, we seen this pattern before, okay? But it was a while back. That was like back in 2019. I remember exactly back in 2019, around like the 5K area. Let's go ahead and double check, right? But I remember exactly around the 5K area. You can go back and watch my videos back then, okay? Right here, this pattern. Right there. Okay, let's take a look at it on the daily. You can see like BTC kept on basically creating these divergences, right, and still pumping to the upside, right? So you just have to be very cautious, right, how you want to basically read these divergences, right? Because you can get a divergence and it could just be a divergence for a correction. Like you had one right here, right there, a divergence. It was nothing but a correction. You go back and watch my videos back in June 2019. I'm giving you dates, exact dates, okay? June 4th and June 3rd up to June 7th, 2019. I was saying like BTC will hit 14K, and BTC back then was around like a 7K, right there with the double bottom. Okay, the same divergence we created right here, right? Similarly, that's what we kind of had right on the 3D, around like a 30K to 25K with the same, with a similar double top, double bottom. So just be cautious, being bearish as of now, because none of these bearish divergences, right, will help you out. Believe me. Okay. The best thing to do, when the RSI comes back down to the mid-range, you start basically just buying the dips right here, because we could be oscillating right here till we find a proper reversal pattern. Okay, or the worst case scenario, you could basically go on the low degree on a 6-hour basis and buy these oversold RSI levels, right? Or just accumulate around the 3D 21, no lower than the the 6-hour 21, no lower than the 6-hour 100 EMA. Right there. Okay. Right there. You can see as soon as we get close to the 6-hour 100 EMA, we tend to basically get the reversal. Okay. If you want to anticipate it, you could use basically the 4-hour 100 EMA. Right. And you can see we've been bouncing off of these oversold territories, right? Because the market is super bullish. Okay, it is super bullish. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at OEN. So let's take a look at OEN BTC first. Okay, so OEN, not OEN, but ONE. So ONE, it is time to get in and be patient, right? Even though against BTC, right, as you can see, it is not looking very good as of now. It is still trending down, but the move could basically surprise you. Okay, the reversal could surprise you, right? So it is just under accumulation, and you just don't know how long it'll take. Okay, the accumulation phase, how long it'll take, just in case it drops all the way down to like 15 sats. Okay, which is basically the same level we got in last time right here. Okay, just about like 30 sats to 15 sats we accumulated, ONE around that level. Let's take a look at the USD chart. So the USD chart looks pretty good. Just have to be patient, right, for a retest of the resistance 0.025 up to 0.03 right there. So MACD looks good. RSI, above the mid-range, looks pretty good. Yep, RSI looking pretty good right here. So you just don't want to be buying when we get above like a 80 and all that good stuff, but we're looking pretty good. Beautiful 5-way structure right there, right? And we caught the, you know, we caught this move right here, right there, okay? Because back then against BTC it was around like a 30 sats, 15 sats area, right? But against USD you can see like it was parabolic, right? It was just cooling off. So but overall it looks pretty good. Just have to be patient with it for the next, you know, 12 to 18 months. Yes. So for this guy, you know, it looks good, right? But you just have to be very cautious, because they dump a lot of coins into the market. And this guy was around like, you know, I think $4, $5. Right now it's not even like half a, you know, it's not even 1 cent, okay? So, and it is 99.9% down. So not much you're gonna do, okay? Just have to be patient with it. We just need to break out above 1 cent in order to start a macro run, okay? That is going to be the big level to look for. I wouldn't be looking for like all-time high. I don't think it'll go back to all-time high, right? But if you get anything like, you know, 25 cents, you know, let's say 5 cents to 25 cents, that's going to be a good level to be getting out if you're accumulating around this level, okay? You know, up to 25 cents, all right? So the reason for that, they dumped a lot of coins into the market during the bear market. So if you don't understand what's going on, you might be thinking like we're gonna go back up to like, you know, $6, $7 and all that good stuff, right? So just be very cautious. But it will pump. I think it will. It is a nice pattern. Okay, it is a nice pattern. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Jenko's Gold Adventures, saying like, oh, it seems like we could be getting another big pump to the upside, possibly, okay? We are still bullish, so just stay with the trend. Whatever you get, you take it. If it dumps, you buy the dips. Let's take a look at XLM. So Stellar, it is not doing bad. It is not doing bad, right? So the thing with Stellar is like this entire move, right, could just be a macro accumulation, and we could be blasting off, right, to the upside above $3 and all that good stuff. It looks really good, you know, with this pattern. The downside is like, if for whatever reason we go through a bear market again, I don't think we will, right? It could be trending down, okay? It could be trending down and retest like, you know, 0.618. That's the only downside target I can see. You see what I'm saying? I don't think it'll go down to these lows, but it could basically retest the you know, 4 cents area if we see any panic selling, right? But overall, I would just go with the bullish pattern, right, and stay with the trend. Looks like a nice macro accumulation phase, right? And if you take a look at XLM BTC, it is back down to all-time low right here, almost, okay, not quite yet, but almost at all-time low, around like 180 sats. Right now we are around like 280, right, if I'm not mistaken. And it could drop down to like 150, right, if it doesn't wakes up, okay? but overall it is still a good hold. It's not a good time to be selling, especially when the BTC dominance is going up. It is almost like, you know, almost around like 60%. So you want to be offloading those BTC into alt. So not time to be selling alt into BTC, regardless how low they drop over the next like a couple of months. All right, but looks very good. All right. Let's take a look at engine. I like ENJ. Okay. Okay, back down to the 50% pullback. You know, MACD hasn't yet crossed positive, so that's a good news. It has not yet gone up parabolically like most low cap coins, right? So good time to be accumulating in this range. The accumulation range is big, so in price and in time, okay, because you know we got our first bottom back in 2020, just like BTC. It pumped back up and retesting what its bottom. Repeated the same pattern right here. We got our first I wouldn't say first bottom, but this one was the first bottom right here, because this one was all-time low, November 2017. Retested it like, you know, December 2018, basically a year later, right? November 2018, right? Basically got a double bottom and basically started the macro pump all the way up to you know, $4 from like 2 cents. Okay, so it looks pretty juicy with the double bottom. Just have to be patient for it to get back above the monthly 21 EMA. So it is always good to accumulate, you know, below the monthly 21 EMA, because once we get above the monthly 21 EMA, you know, things could look very pumpy. Okay, and don't be surprised to get another double top right here and another retest right here. So not sure if it'll break like, you know, $5, $7, $8 range. It could be a double top and a double bottom in the next bear market. So just have to accumulate it under the monthly 21, just in case we do not go parabolic above the previous all-time high. And I explained it to you guys. Most 2016, 2017 coins, that's what they did in 2021. And I've been giving you some concrete examples, right? Like DCR, like that. You can see how it basically dumped down here, you know, in 2020 and pumped back up in 2021 and just retesting it, right? And you can see Digibyte, right? Similarly, same pattern. And I just showed you XLM, same pattern. So you just have to be very cautious. So these 2021 coins, I'm not saying they will, but some of them could potentially print these, you know, type of patterns. So if you go back to Engine, you don't want to be buying around like $3, $4. If you're not buying it around like a, you know, 20 cents to 30 cents, right? Mr. Hank in the house, thanks a lot for tuning in, flushing some LTC down the drain. Okay, I think somebody asked about SNX last time. I forgot to talk about it, but SNX, it looks really good. Okay, the problem is like, you know, once we get above all-time high, it could be very challenging. Okay, it could be very challenging. I'm just afraid like we're gonna get something like that. That's the only problem, just like what I just showed you, because it could be in a, you know, 5-7 years macro accumulation in this range, just in case. Okay, so if you just have, if you're going to be bullish on any of these alt, right, you just have to be bullish on them early enough and get out early enough. But you don't want to be bullish on them like in next year around this time, right? Like late 2024. Yes, some of them will still pump a lot in 2025, but the risk is going to be much higher. All right, Hank, ¿cómo estás? GMX BTC. Let's take a look at it. Okay, we almost at you know 50% right here, so I don't see any reversal yet, right, till we break out above 15,000 sats, give or take, right here. But as of now, it is still under accumulation, right? The good news, if you're bullish, right, it is still in a downtrend, so you can basically continue to accumulate the dips. Okay. All right, guys, so I'm starting to get tired. So we'll go for another live stream, right, sometime this week. Stay bullish, right? No need to be shorting the market, right? I've been saying it over the last few weeks, especially since October. Don't short the market. If you want to be bearish, just be patient. Okay, you will get plenty of time to be bearish. You will get plenty of time to be shorting the market. But 24 months after the bull market peak, right, 24 months of a downtrend, after you get 24 months of a downtrend, right, it is not the right time, right, to be bearish. It is just not feasible. Okay, so if you've been watching our channel long enough, we said it a long time ago. Stay bullish, don't be bearish. Stay bullish, be patient, don't be bearish. Okay, 75% BTC, 25% alt. And once we get through, once we get to the last quarter of 2023, increase your BTC, increase your alt holding, decrease your BTC holding, and be patient. It's not going to be like it's not going to be quick. The process is not going to be quick. It's not like you just buy some alt today and tomorrow they pump. You have to be able to hold them for at least 6 months if you want to get those massive gains. Not like 30%, 15%, 40%, 100%. Right? We're talking about like 25x, 50x, and maybe 100x for Leroy, right? So, all right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Be safe out there.